Call up me name just to get a forward. You know see the one of them a parasite them a lead.
Good morning, peeps. It's your girl, Blessed D Gaza Diva, and welcome back to the Blessed D Gaza Diva channel. Now, I must admit that I'm not a big fan of Tavares Finson on the Vybz Kartel's case, as I have my own concerns and disappointment with how my artist was allowed to be sentenced to life imprisonment due to the mismanagement of many of the grounds upon which he was sentenced, whether due to not enough questioning on his behalf, reflowed evidences which are only just now being argued or questioned in the appeal, or just the obvious abuse of power from the hands of the DPP and trial judge all the way down. However, what is due unto Caesar, we must give it to Caesar. And I must say now we have a lawyer in Tavares Finson on this case who is clearly thinking. Why I say Tavares now is clearly thinking, I saw an article in the Sunday Gleaner about jurors on witness protection contacting the media. And I'm being honest, I just ignored it. And several of you did ask on the other videos I posted to cover it, and I politely told you I would not cover it. And here is the reason why I would not cover it. It is because of what Tavares, the very reason he is now talking about. The first thing that came to my mind is the very question Tavares is asking. How did a juror on witness protection contact the Jamaica Gleaner? Can somebody answer that? And if you can't answer that question, then it makes no sense to me. Not even only that, the title of the article, Bad Vibes, in bold, made the agenda clear to me that they were trying to push a negative connotation or a negative association with my artist's name. And sometimes we need to read between the lines because the devil is always in the details. And I read the article from top to bottom. Why for bottom? But I read the article from top to base, from start to finish, and I said to myself, interesting how this article is coming out at this time. How can a juror who is in witness protection contact the Jamaica Sunday Gleaner? Not just regular Star, the big bad Sunday Gleaner that has majority of Jamaica's attention. Most people read Jamaica Sunday Gleaner in comparison to all other distribution of papers in the island. So I knew exactly what they were doing, and for that very reason I was not covering it. Now, they're talking about witness protection, and I like to take things from a different angle because sometimes we need to be clear on what people or where things stem from before we jump on it to say, okay, yes, it's this, that, that. So let's take a look at witness protection specific to Jamaica, because the witness protection program, right, even though it's specific to Jamaica, it's universal standards that are practiced across most countries. So for specific to Jamaica, let's take a quick look, right? So in Jamaica, when you go into witness protection, it has to be a major case. In most 99.99% of the instances, it's major cases. And we know already this is a major case. The DPP, Paula Lewin, you hear? She's in it again. She has to make the recommendation to the Commission of Police that this person needs to be in the witness protection program. So I'm assuming in this case, not assuming, in this case, she would have made the recommendations for this juror. The assessment is then done on the juror for whom they're seeking protection, to see their surroundings, to see the nature of the scare and the reason for the scare. Now, in this particular case, the nature of the scare had to do with Kane Livingston, who was a former juror whom they claimed were bribing persons with $500,000 to come back with a not guilty verdict. So as a result of that, I heard that this person was the one who ratted out Kane Livingston, for a lack of better word, and as such needed to be placed in witness protection. So no issues there. I'm sure the DPP would have wanted to strengthen her case, so she would gladly recommend this to the Commission of Police. And again, that is my opinion of the woman, and you all know how I feel about this woman in terms of all that I've seen her produce. Nonetheless, when that person gets into witness protection, right? Some people will respond quite negatively. Some people just don't want to leave their homes, their relatives and their friends, and they don't want to go onto the program, and they believe that they can take care of themselves. So if they accept that readily, then fine. So clearly all of that is discussed at the commissioner's office, and if you are okay with leaving your family or leaving your home to relocate, sometimes in the country or outside of the country. In this case, for this woman, she chose outside of the country. One of the things we need to understand is, in a witness protection program, there is a discussion. You are not just taken on a witness protection program, sent to another country, and given a life that is totally different from the one you're in. You're given a life equal to or better than the one that you currently live at. If your children are taken with you, their children is sent to a school that is equal to the one they attended while you were in your other country. So it's similar or better circumstances. So to hear this person saying that they're suffering now, it is a shocker to me, because at the end of the day, that discussion should have been had and you would have made a decision. One of the other things that takes effect in a witness protection program, right? You can stay as long, and you are told upfront that the witness protection program, once you go into it, you will stay in that program for as long as it takes to prove the person guilty, or for as long as it takes to ensure that you are safe again. At no point, a person is forced into a witness protection program. It is recommended, and after they have walked and talked the person through the risk that they will be taking, the family that they will be leaving, the life that they may be changing from, the length of the time that it may be taken from them, it is the person who decides whether they want to be in the witness protection program. So that woman who is now complaining, she made that decision, so she better live with her decision. So I just wanted to touch on that briefly, give you a brief explanation as to how the witness program works, protection program works, and to ensure that people understand that this person who is now complaining was not forced to be into the program. But you know how some Jamaicans are free and frightened. Yes, they love foreign. I think she's one of them. But you see, the people who have lived the life and live the life know that foreign is nothing to be frightened about. So she get a rude awakening now, so she want to come to our yard. But again, not even only that, they have their agenda that they're pushing. So let's not digress too much. Let's go back to Tom Tavares Finson's response in response to this article, which is the key focus of my discussion with you, because them people, they're not getting no fame. I see exactly what they're trying to do, and I'm not pushing their stupid agenda. So Tom Tavares is now asking the right question, and he basically said, one issue that concerns me is that one of the jurors on the witness protection program is leaving me to wonder, right? How is it that the Gleaner was able to contact a witness on the program? It is frightening. That is frightening. Brethren, it's not frightening to him alone. It is frightening to me. So when I saw the article on Sunday, as I said, I wasn't going to do anything on it, because you are in witness protection. You're in a witness protection program. How on earth you are reaching out, or the Gleaner was able to reach out to you? How they find your details? How they get your contact information? Or how did you call into the Gleaner? A lot of people are going to argue, oh, anonymously. No, you didn't do it anonymously, because you can speak categorically to you being on the case, and the Gleaner is a reputable entity. They're not just going to take a call from a random person. So what you're basically saying, I can call the Gleaner. Oh, I was involved and as a juror on the Vybz Kartel case, and I want to tell my story. No. We're not big and doofus and born so we read between the lines and knew that this is a cook up another story. So Tom Tavares went on to say potential for prejudice. What I can say though is that in my view, it has no impact on the matter currently before the court, simply because of the quality of the judges of the Court of Appeal and their ability to ignore matters such as this. So I showed you the 3 appellate judges who are involved, or who will be making the decision, because this is not going to go to a juror or it's going to be deliberated, etc. The decision is going to be made by judge, whether it is a retrial that may happen, whether it is a lesser sentencing, or whatever they decide to do, which I pray to God every day, set my artist free. So he is confident, Tom Tavares Finson that is, that this is not going to prejudice either of the judges' opinion. They're extremely trained in managing issues of this nature, so they know exactly what to listen to and what to look out for. What he is, however, concerned with is that this particular juror who is now claiming that they are in fear of whatever, they can prejudice the case, especially in a case of a retrial. So Tom Tavares Finson is saying that if a potential retrial exists, and if a retrial occurs, it means it's going to go back into court, and you're going to have a juror again who are making the decision on whether Kartel gets released or stays. It is going to prejudice that juror, and I can understand totally from that angle, right? He also took shot at Paula Llewellyn again at the office of Director of Public Prosecution, which you know she heads up, right? Questioning certain actions, because he's basically saying usually the only thing the public would know of an empanel jury is their name and occupation, and in the case of Livingston, he's basically saying there was an allegation made against Mr. Livingston, and the Director of Public Prosecution took the decision to prosecute Mr. Livingston by taking the decision to have him appear in the arbitrary court and come in for a case. They said what should have happened is that he should have been moved away from the case, and he wouldn't have been required to attend court, because what happened is they were required to attend court in trial in arbitrary, and under normal circumstances, if the juror is accused, he would be allowed to go about his business, not be involved with the case, and that would be it. Instead, she chose to prosecute the man, take the man to court. But this is what I want to understand, all right? And this is why I tell you that woman called Paula Llewellyn is not no nice woman, you know. And nobody needs to think this woman is nice, you know. She's a dangerous species, you know. So what happened to the juror who was bribing the court back in the days on that end, the opposite end then, to say that they need to come back with a guilty verdict? What happened to that juror? That was one of the grounds upon which this appeal was granted, because the mishandling of how she dealt with that. Why didn't she prosecute that juror? Why she gave them a slap on the wrist? She can't fool me. She gave that person a slap on the wrist, let that person go, but here she is on the opposite end claiming to pursue justice, bringing a juror before the court because it is alleged that they are bribing the jury to come back with a not guilty verdict. We've heard of double standards always, and this is not even a classic case of double standard. This is just a classic case of proving what we've long suspected. And in 2015, some of you may not remember, there was an article going around that they had pre-planned the juror at the time to come back with a guilty verdict. There was a celebration that was to be planned with a list of names of persons who are supposed to be on the attendee list. And Valerie Nita Robinson had raised that back in March 2015. And in their celebration, they had selected a spot in Port Royal to go and celebrate. Food for thought, people. Don't look at this case and when they write their articles, run up and oh, this, and they're suffering. No, they're not suffering. They are calculatedly trying to tarnish the case once more. But it's not going to work, because the smart and the shrewd and the intuitive sit and look. And I know exactly what they're trying. Tom Tavares Finson, I must say, I'm proud of you on this one. And thanks for taking this stance and speaking about what has happened with that Sunday article, because it's rubbish, it's garbage, and I would never cover anything like that. And I am delighted you have taken this stance to address it in the public. Let me know your thoughts about this, how Tom Tavares Finson has handled this so far. Let me know your thoughts about Tom Tavares in general on this case, and let me know your thoughts if you think they are trying to prejudice and make Vybz Kartel's case another long drawn out issue where the judges could possibly come back and say, yes, he's evil, he's wicked, and you see, people are running and fearing for their lives. Let me know what you think in general, and thanks for taking the time to watch my video. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Do have a good day, peeps. We come around here with intuition and intuitiveness because we understand what mass media does, and what the Gleaner did on Sunday, we weren't falling for it. Have a good day.